So let's turn back the clock a little and pretend for the moment that we do like to surrender. We're not going to fight to the end. So we skip the doctor battle when we do that. And we get taunted by Colonel Bahamut. I don't think he was smirking, but alright. Bahamut, as you can see, is chewing gum while speaking, and his eyes are kind of pulsating. So that's not good. But unfortunately, he's going to blow up headquarters with us in it, including the soldiers. So he's going to start by destroying Brownie's handcuffs and giving him back our gun. So, okay. This introduces what's known as Stage 5B. And then the doctor's still here, and he doesn't mind being blown up, I guess, and he's kind of mad at the enemy soldiers for not liking being blown up, so he's gonna punish them with a triangle beam that turns them into that. Alright. We start with what appears to be a pretty intense stage. The base is exploding really right behind us. And if you notice, the space we have available on the left is increasing, actually. But we have to keep shooting forward to avoid the new alien frog things. They're not really much of a challenge. You just gotta be you just gotta make sure you don't run ahead with reckless abandon, as most of us are wont to do in this crazy world we live in called Contra. At any rate, this challenge is really easy for Brownie because of the double jump. I have to imagine this is a little tricky for other characters, because it looks like those are big jumps. But the only thing you have to worry about is Brownie, like an idiot, will cling to the side of these little protrusions, and you have to climb up then. Just don't let it slow you down, and you're okay. Oh man, 2 jumps in a row. Can we make it? Yes, we can. Truth be told, I don't like 5B as much as 5A or 6A, or the previous last stage we did. It just gets back to that wacky Contra Hard Corps goodness that I just can't dig, you know? Just give me some awesome manly stuff to do in my Contra, that's all I ask. Not here anyway, though. We're done now. The base has stopped exploding, I guess. There's no more aliens. We're all okay, but we have to stop the evil Colonel Bahamut somehow. So we get in this elevator to space, or a square-shaped rocket, or maybe it's part of a rocket, I don't know. I never saw the engineering diagrams. I hate this boss fight, though. So, the Doctor, where the hell did he come from? Has a new little AT-AT walker, ATST, I guess. And he jumps around in the cardinal directions. Not the hardest thing, but it's this attack that I can't stand. It's these poles, and see they extend? That's fine, except you have no idea when they move, where they're going to go, and they can't kill you. So I've been killed so many times by the thing just running right into me. More than I care to mention, but he has 2 more attacks that I'll show you off later, maybe. But in this second phase, this is kind of neat. He walks around trying to crush you, but if you notice, he subtly starts to grow as you're shooting him, meaning you have less and less space to maneuver vertically. Horizontally, it doesn't seem to change, but that is when you have to move horizontally. But at any rate, we're in space now. And there's an anti-gravity. Yeah, why not? Brownie's looking at me like he can't believe this shit either. So fortunately, we've docked. And there's absolutely nothing in this hallway, so we've got a straight run to the final boss, which is this. What? How is this cape blowing? There shouldn't be wind. Whoa, what is he doing there? Well, anyway, Bahamut's now combined the alien cell with a big thing in its forehead to create Big Magnum, which shoots something at Earth. Oh man, that region of the ocean is fucked now. Well, anyway, we have to stop him. I like Big Magnum as a final boss, just because it's got a relatively phallic name. Big Magnum has 4 attacks, and his last boss theme is the same as the other path. This is known as Last Springsteen. I don't know how the fuck you come up with a name like that. Anyway, the first 2 attacks are pretty self-explanatory. This C attack I like a lot, except you can completely negate it with the invincibility slide. You're supposed to dodge between those balls, but yeah, you know why. His 4th attack's neat too, but once again, the invincibility slide makes short work of it. I think if they had made it so you couldn't slide through these attacks, this would have been a more interesting boss fight than it is. Not that it's not interesting, it just made it like half easy, you know, so you really only have to care about 2 attacks and worry about a little timing. I also think this phase of the fight is the toughest and probably should have been saved for last. At the very least, though, we could have started with this phase of the attack. As you can see by the way the alien's drooping and depressed, I feel bad for him. This attack is one homing shot, and now there's a big metal face in Big Magnum that's glowing starry triangles. I don't know. Again, though, I think this should have let off the final boss fight, and then we have an attack which fans of Contra 3 might sort of be used to, which is that sort of rotate around the room type of cannon. They telegraph it nicely for you. But once again, I mean, you're supposed to climb around this thing clockwise and be careful because the right side's a little longer than the other 2/3 of it. But you can slide right through it, and Brownie's homing weapon, again, makes this pretty easy. So I think if this was the second phase of the fight, and the final phase was those 4 attacks in a row, this probably... that's the way I would have done it, me being the Contra expert game designer that I am. That was a joke, by the way. I would never design a Contra. It's just way too hard and above my head. Anyway. So now the alien has real reason to be depressed because we've destroyed him. Which leads to a Metroid-esque ending where the entire base is going to self-destruct, and we have to get out of it. No, I'm kidding, we're dead. This is the sad end, when we have heroically sacrificed ourselves to destroy Big Magnum. I don't know what that next step he was talking about would be, but... oh well. That's Contra Hard Corps. Ends on a down note. Those of you who are watching on YouTube, you may not know, but this is, as I said in the description, this is done for Dectalon's Hard Games thread. And in terms of other Contra LPs being done, Dectalon himself did playthroughs of Contra and Super Contra for both for the NES, and he did them as single videos. They're really good. Dectalon's got a good eye for what makes a game challenging and how to add, like, you know, platforms, things like that. I really like listening to his breakdown of those games. He also is doing the Sheena run-through of Hardcore. I think he only has 2 videos, but that's also interesting to watch. Another goon who I've mentioned, Zykier, is did actually. He completed a run of Hardcore using both Ray and Fang. He does subtitles. I was considering that for Contra 3 because I really like the audio, but Contra 3 is pretty consistently intense throughout, and I didn't want you to have to keep looking at the bottom of the screen. Plus, I like to hear the sound of my own voice. But yeah, if you want to see Hardcore from some other people's perspectives, check that out. Freezing Inferno did a playthrough of Operation C for the Game Boy, and is currently doing Contra 4 for the DS. Freezing Inferno has a funny voice insofar as he is so friggin' happy to be playing Contra. It's almost something, you know, I kind of think, like, maybe I could refer that, but to be honest, he's just having a ton of fun doing it, and he just sounds really happy, so I like watching it, so never mind. Also, he's really fucking good at the games. So yeah, if you, I know I'm gonna have more videos coming, but if you need some Contra right now, hey, you got it. I mean, you can't have the best, why not settle for the rest, I always say. I'm kidding, my videos are garbage. So, that's Hardcore, and that's another ending. And they make a giant statue of us that stands on top of the earth. Yay. So, Doctor has 2 more attacks I did not show off. One of them I like a lot. It's this attack here. The little nubs can't hurt you. They just show you where they go, and they do a little... can't call it a ranged attack, but you know, I like this a lot. I think it's a neat challenge. The other attack I'm about to show you here, it's one of those you have to know it's coming kind of attacks. If you shoot those robots early, they explode upwards, so don't kill them right below you if you can help it, but get on the ceiling and you're completely safe. And then everything else goes like it expects. Really, I was figuring my winning run I wouldn't run into the little poles after all, but it worked out. So there you have it.